Okay, welcome to the July 18th Thursday chat. I don't know that we have a big agenda. We certainly have only a few requests for speakers. So we'll start with Sharon Gavea.
Hi, everybody. It's me again. Last week, you heard me tell you about 3 exciting events that were coming up. Well, first of all, we had one. The Wind Down Travel Agency went to India last Monday. Thanks to all who made it the opportunity for us to come together and enjoy the taste and sounds of India. The culinary team did an outstanding job allowing us to savor the taste of new flavors. Thanks also to Bob Mesnick, who sent out a video of the event for those who missed it or for those who enjoyed being there. Please note that there will be no wind down in August. But we have other things planned. This Saturday, we head to the beach, otherwise known as the Terrace Room. Enjoy ice cream sundaes, listen to summer music, and socialize with your friends. Weather permitting, we will be able to be outside on the terrace with the new awnings to keep us in the shade. Bring your favorite beach towels, sunglasses, beach hats, and don't forget the sunscreen. So I'll see you again this coming Saturday, July 20th at 2 o'clock in the Terrace Room. And lastly, but this is something that I hold very dear, the Scholarship Award ceremony will take place next Tuesday, July 23rd at 7:30 in the evening. Last year it was at 2. This year it's at 7:30, and it will be in Great Meadow Hall. Each year, this has been such a wonderful opportunity to meet the recipients together, to congratulate them on their achievements, and to acknowledge that this occasion could not have happened without the dedication of the Scholarship Committee and the generous donation of our residents. So we look forward to seeing you next Tuesday, July 23rd at 7:30. Hope to see you all there. Thank you, Jerry.
Thanks, Sharon. And before we move on to staff announcements, do we have any other announcements that I've missed? Getting it about. Okay, Eileen O'Donoghue, go ahead. Oh. Eileen? I guess I don't see her. I had a request from her. Josh, are you there?
Jerry, Josh is on vacation.
Okay, so
I imagine Eileen will join us shortly. She's probably hung up somewhere.
okay, so why don't you go ahead, Matt? Looks like we'll have a very short meeting.
All right. Well, hello, everyone. And thanks to everybody for the well wishes. Vacation was great. Everybody was healthy and happy, and nobody got hurt, which in my family is a first on vacation. So it was a great success. It's nice to be back. With that, thank you to Jessica Coleman, our Associate Executive Director. She held down the fort beautifully when I came back. I'm still digging out a bit, but I think I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. And as somebody said to me earlier, I guess I better make sure that's not a train coming at me. But we'll see. We'll see what that goes. I want to acknowledge the great work that's gone into the new Centro menu. I think it's very challenging to create a new menu every 3 months. And although some folks would like to see other items on there and some items might be missing from the wish list, it takes a tremendous amount of work. And I think this menu has been particularly successful so far. Even so, if you have feedback, please connect with your peers on the dining committee and share with them. In that group, they can really work through any of the requests and identify whether they can be met during this menu cycle or the upcoming one. But regardless, kudos to that team. They ran with it and did a great job. Sharon mentioned the scholarship ceremony. That's going to be a great event. I think it's one of my favorite events. It's really special. You see a lot of young and bright students that are excited about their futures, and they get to be surrounded by a community that has shown them nothing but support and love. So for those of you that can make it, it's one of the best feel-good events you can probably join here at Newbridge. It's very special. So I hope to see many of you there. I think everybody that has had eyes on the pergola out in the courtyard by the garden has mentioned over the years that it needs a little bit of love. And if you've been out there recently, you will have seen that it has been completely redone. I walked through it this morning and put my eyes on it. It looks brand new. It looks absolutely great. So the company that refinished that did an exceptional job. So I hope you all enjoy that. It sticks out in a good way. In the past, it stuck out in a bad way, but now it's incredibly secure, freshly painted. All the rotted wood has been replaced. It looks just tremendous. So I'm really happy to see that. Next week, and I can see we only have 78 people on this call. Next week, I anticipate breaking the 100 mark easily, because next week we're going to talk about monthly service fees. It's that time of year where I announced to everybody what the monthly service fee increase will be. And I'll say this, with the budgeting process, it's not something that is done over a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks, and I can keep going on. This is a 5 to 6 month process that we do here. And it's not just done at the level of my desk. It's taken all the way up through HSL to the finance committee, to the board of directors, to the CEO, to the controller, all the way back down. And it's a massive, massive project. And as you can anticipate, it's become a little more fluid and challenging over the last couple of years post-COVID. We've seen utility costs go kind of wild. We've seen, obviously, employee wages creep up based on the need for competition. And we've seen particularly the insurance market really, just for lack of a better term, collapse across the United States. So I don't think the rate increase will be anything shocking to anybody by any means. It'll be, fair and reasonable. And I think you'll feel pretty good about it. But I just want to highlight that it's not a willy-nilly thing. It's a lot of work. And we really sharpen our pencils and we try to think about what can we do without impacting services, and how do we make sure that the residents living here get absolutely everything you all deserve. It's something I take incredibly seriously, and I put many, many, many hours and a lot of pressure, an exorbitant amount of pressure on my colleagues to make sure that they're delivering the way they need to be. So we can talk about that more next week. Somebody from finance will be on here with me to share, and then I'll put it in my Friday letter as well next week. But I know everybody eagerly awaits that, so that'll be next week. So tell everybody it's going to be a good meeting. We're going to have a lot of people there. I just want to remind everybody too about maintenance requests. We had a couple of folks put in call with maintenance requests at like 7 o'clock at night, leave a voicemail, and then send an email the next morning and say, nobody's been here. And although we do our best to get there ASAP, the commitment I have had the team make to me is that they're going to respond within 24 hours. And what I mean by respond is call you back and schedule a time to come pay a visit and fix whatever needs to be fixed or ordered, whatever it may be. So we're a little bit, I guess you'd say, victims of our own success in some regards with the fact that people show up quickly. So just a reminder to the community, a little bit of patience. We'll get back to you within 24 hours. If we can get there way sooner, we will. And then lastly, I don't know if you all have been seeing this, but I've been seeing a surge in COVID cases and people in my own personal life around me. And just to tell you, I belong to one of these Facebook groups in my local town, and somebody posted on there, I have COVID, where's the best place to get soup? And 100 responses followed, 70 of them which said, I also have COVID, or I just got over COVID, or my kids have COVID. And then the other 30 are about where to get soup. But not hard and fast data, but it's what we're seeing now that we don't have very clear data coming out of the CDC and people aren't doing PCR testing and that kind of stuff anymore. So I am seeing that ramping up quite a bit. So just a recommendation to everybody, be mindful. If you're not feeling well, stay home, even if you think it's an allergy or a cold. If you're not going to stay home, talk to those around you. If you're going to spend time with them in close quarters, make sure they're comfortable with it. Our security team has plenty of tests. I know this new FLIRT variant, there's been some mixed discussion around whether or not those tests can pick up on that variant. I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe some of the docs here could clarify for us, but at this point, I don't know. But I would say err on the side of caution. And if we have to keep our eyes on this from an administrative standpoint and put some interventions into place to minimize any spread or whatnot, we'll be prepared to do so. At this time here on this campus, I don't have an extreme concern. Our employees are healthy. Our residents are healthy. We generally have 1 or 2 cases at any given time. That seems to be pretty much the standard last year or so. And we find ourselves in that same place right now. But there is a bit of a summer surge happening across the nation. And I do anticipate that we'll see something along those lines here in Massachusetts, if not somewhat in our community. So everyone, knock on wood, do your part. We'll make sure to communicate cleanly, and we'll be here if anybody needs anything. And so with that, Jerry, I'd love to open it up to questions and just connect with everybody. It's been a little while.
Eileen is here, so don't go away. Eileen will take you after any questions of Matt. Do we have any questions? Barbara Nadich.
And are there any active cases in NIL?
Yeah, there are 2 active cases right now. One I anticipate being, resolved very shortly.
Okay.
One's relatively new, I think yesterday.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Is there anybody else? You see any?
Good news for what it's worth, Barbara. What we've been seeing is not extreme illness by any means. A lot of folks have actually confused it with a cold or allergies. But, it's different for everybody. So don't take that as it's going to be a cakewalk. Who knows?
Robert Wicksburg.
I just wanted to follow up to say that the CDC reports that the currently available rapid tests do fine in detecting the new flirt variants. They perform as well as they did with the older variants. And that also the wastewater counts, which are the most reliable remaining measure of prevalence of disease, are as high as they have been in over a year. So we're not alone in seeing more cases. It's common across the country, including all over the Northeast.
Bob, that's really helpful. Thank you. And we have plenty of tests, so we are prepared on that front.
Anybody else? Okay, Matt, thank you. Eileen, we were looking for you before, but you're on now.
Hi, guys. I hope you're all doing well. I am sorry. Josh started his well-deserved vacation today. So you find me alone, and I was running around the place. So I apologize I was late. I just want to thank the community. As you know, we rolled out 2 major menus for the last couple of weeks. So thank you. We're still obviously ironing out a few items and a bit of service. But I also want to ask you for your help with the reservations. What we are seeing is people double booking areas, or what we're trying to get our host stands to do is call you guys back, not just to confirm your reservation, but also to let us know who is with you in case we double book. This is starting to increase. And because of that, if somebody like double books the 2 restaurants, or for instance, books a table of 8 and there's only 4 people there, that means then we have less space for other residents to come and eat. And obviously we want to get as many people into the restaurants as possible. So if I could have your help on just making sure that if the host stand in Centro or the host stand in Nosh call you to confirm reservations, please just answer them, give them a message back. Let them know who is with you. If your number has dropped, that's okay. If your number has increased, that's okay. We just want to be prepared as best we can. So for the 2 services. And as well as that, I know in Centro the last week, we had to kind of slow service down a little bit just because, it's the new menu and we're trying to get the kitchen up and running, and we're trying to get the wait staff kind of accustomed to the new menu. But I do think most people have understood, and I just want to make sure that you were that was the reason why we were kind of slowing things down. And the reason we slow things down then is that we can take it at a better pace, not only for our wait staff, but also for our cooks. And that would then lead better service for you in Central. All right.
So we
Any
have
questions?
from Sid Josephi.
This goes back to about the COVID thing. So if you want to get back to me, if there are other people waiting about food,
No,
about dining, no one else is.
sorry, you hold on, Eileen. We'll manage all of this. Go ahead.
So I was wondering about outdated, expired COVID tests. If someone, we were told from security that they don't expire. Of course, that was right after I'd thrown out about 8 of them. And the ones indeed that they had used was past the expiration date. Is that not valid anymore, the expiration dates?
Sid, you can go on the CDC site. And it'll actually tell you which, by the COVID test brand, and it'll tell you which ones
I
have
had
an
done that and
expiration.
they all seem to be like you could extend it for 2 months,
Yeah, and
which
so
all
that's
expired in 2023.
one
Yeah.
thing, and then the other thing that has been a pretty good telltale for some of us is whether or not the control line works. If the control line doesn't work, I mean, the test is absolutely junk at that point.
Oh, if nothing shows up rather than, okay. Okay, fine, thank you.
There might be more to it than that, though. I mean, that's just what I know of it at this point.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other questions for either Matt or Eileen? Were you raising your hand, Bob Witzberg? Okay. All right, thank
I
you.
was just muting.
What is that?
I was just muting myself.
Oh,
Helene Canisberg has her hand up.
all right, thank you. Elaine, go ahead. No, you need to be unmuted.
Correct. Thank you. Thank you. I can't unmute myself, so this is good. I just wanted to ask Eileen, the new menu for Central, is that available now or is that next week, the 24th or something like that?
No, the new menu started last Monday. So
did,
then
okay.
there's a new menu up in Central, and we also are still working through the new menu in Nash. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Okay. Any others? All right. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Take care, everyone.